always remember, even as a toddler, my dad would always have his old school Fords. He had XY GT replicas, Fairlane 500s, Cortinas. He loved his Fords. He had a couple of rotaries. Turned about 18, I got a Turbo Gemini and started modifying that, and it just went from there. And I started getting into the Jap imports, and yeah, just ended up getting in a lot of trouble in those cars, and I sort of decided to steer away from modified cars for a while, and I didn't really own anything for a couple of years, but I was just always on car sales looking for something to build or modify, and it was just always in the back of my mind that I wanted something else. And my name's Adam. This is my 1960 Impala, full House of Blues. I'd always been aware of the style, you know, I'd always seen it in hip hop videos growing up, and I remember my mum took me into a toy store one day and said, you know, buy any toy that you want, and I bought a little model of a 64 Impala, and that had always stuck with me. Like, I still got the model car now. In 2013, I was looking for a 62 Impala. I found a 64 Impala that I was pretty happy to settle with. So I started looking for a 62 again, and it was similar sort of shape. I didn't want to settle for something that was very similar to what I already had, so kept looking, and I stumbled across 60 Impalas, and I just fell in love with the body lines and the wings and everything like that. And then I decided, you know what, I'll get a convertible and just make it different again, get something rarer. I started looking in the States, and actually a car that I originally saw and was the reason that I fell in love with 60 Impalas came up for sale. When we got it here, however, I did notice a few bits of rust, and the rings in the motor were sort of on their way out, so it just sort of, everything snowballed. My original plan, just, you know, do small modifications and keep it as it was, just straight away was out the window. I fell in love with the original colour. That was one of the reasons why I bought the car. And we chopped back the clear on the top. My mate Cole laid down some metal flake on the rear. Myself and him sort of sat down. I drew a few things out and put it all together and came up with a design, and he laid down the tape work, and then after that we planned out how we're going to do the white gold leaf and pinstriping to sort of complement the front end of the car. And after that, I just wanted little touches of engraving just to accentuate the car. I waited for some parts for up to 12 months, and yeah, so it was a bit of a waiting game and sort of tested my patience a bit, but it was all worth it in the end. All the gold leaf there that you see, it's all white gold leaf, and Cole's gone through and done each individual turn by hand, and so there's a fair bit of work that's gone into that. And it was all retrimmed in the States. I did want that sort of original 60s feel to it. Everything's pretty much, you know, standard looking in the interior, but then once you start looking closer, you notice all the little modifications. And it's just air ride, very comfortable to drive. You know, I can just hop in and jump on the freeway, go anywhere, and it just floats. Like, it's really nice to drive. So it's a Crate 350 with Vortec heads. It was just a long motor that I got from Rocket. Once we had the motor, you know, sort of all in pieces, I was like, you know what, we'll spray the block and we'll spray it the same colour as the car. And then I'm like, all right, well, the motor's not really going to stand out from the rest of the engine bay, so I decided to get my mate Cole to lay down some metal flake on the inner guards, and we planned out some patterns, and he patterned it, and ended up driving everything back to my house in his van and pieced the car back together in my driveway in a couple of days, and then yeah, we took it to a show just to see how it would go. And a lot of people that have told me that I've wrecked the car, and you know, I shouldn't have done this, I should have done it to original, but I think I've taken it to another level than what I could have if I did it to original, and there's no way I could have done as many modifications and made it this unique if I did it to that standard, you know what I mean? So. I like to get it out at least once a week if I can, if not more. You know, I'll take it up the coast, down the coast. You know, wherever we can take it, I'll take it. Just as long as I can see it from where I'm sitting, I'm happy. I can just jump in this thing and I'll just switch off. Whatever stresses I've got, just anything that I'm worried about, I'll just jump in this and I'll forget about everything. I'll just turn up the stereo, I've got the colour bar going and go wherever I want to go.